Welcome to On the Fence Reviews. Today we're going to review Gladiator 2. I'm Nathan, this is Peter, this is Aaron, and this is Josh.
I'm Aaron.
Gladiator 2 is a historical epic film just like the first one by Ridley Scott, debuting in 2024. It stars Lucius, who is captured after a war with the Roman army led by General Cassius. He seeks revenge against Cassius and fights as a gladiator for Maximus, a former slave who plans to overthrow the twin emperors Geta and Caracalla, however you say that name.
What are your guys' initial reactions for Gladiator 2?
Today I decided to wear a onesie because I almost fell asleep to the movie. After leaving the theater, I gotta say my excitement was probably 5 out of 10 of the movie, which is average. Quality of the film was a 4 out of 10. The first one was a lot better. Watch it at home. Times are tough. Finances are hard.
My initial rating is quality at a 5. It's pretty meh. There's a lot of plot holes in my opinion. And then the entertainment, 7. To kind of turn your brain off, it's good action. Depends what you're going for.
And my initial rating was a 6 and a 6. The excitement, it was pretty entertaining. It was fun. But it's not as impactful as the first one.
Agreed.
For sure.
I'd say for my rating, initially coming out of the theater, I had an 8 for excitement. I thought it was just a generally fun action movie to watch. As far as quality, I'd say it was probably a 6. It was kind of lacking some of those main storyline reasonings that Maximus had and Lucius didn't. I think for the movies that have been coming out recently, the lack of quality, I think it's worth seeing. I don't think it's any means a masterpiece or anything close to Gladiator, but I do think it's a good movie to go see with friends.
Now we'll get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet and you want to, pause and come back. How we review movies is based on a score of quality and entertainment. So quality is how well the story is, and is there any plot holes? Is it worth seeing? And then excitement, is the cinematography good? Is the action good? Is it entertaining?
For me, I didn't see Gladiator for a long time. It's probably been about 5 years. So I watched a little 2-minute recap on YouTube before I went into Gladiator 2, and it helped at least for the names of the characters. Yeah, it caught me up a little bit, but excitement for me. Was I on the edge of my seat? No, I wasn't.
I believe that Gladiator 2 is what the original Gladiator would have been if it was made today. You could tell it was digitized. It's filming from a digital camera, whereas the first one was filmed on film. And I love the grittiness of film that was in the first one, this one was it was too clean. It didn't feel like Rome. So the first one had 50 shots of just CGI. It's very impressive. With this one, it's hundreds of CGI shots. Ridley Scott has gotten, I think, just a little bit lazier. I still love Ridley. I think he's made some fantastic films. He's got a great reputation, but I think he's just gotten a little lazier.
No, it was definitely a money grab.
Yeah.
Honestly, Ridley Scott, he's a bigger name for a director, but like Maximus is a one and done thing. It was a character we love. The odds of do another Rome story or something that's completely different.
It felt copy paste from the original Gladiator. However, there are parts that they copied. I still think that it was exciting. Fighting the monkeys.
Yeah, that was good. That's what
Monkey Man.
Talking about
I think the best character was Pedro Pascal's character.
General Cassius.
He's just doing his job.
Yep.
And he didn't have enough screen time in my opinion.
No, I love Pedro Pascal.
We don't really know what motivates him. We're not told what motivates Pedro Pascal's character.
Lucilla, I think, because he's married to her, he shares some of the same passions and stuff. I think he just gets it from her. You see them meeting secretly with the Senate a couple times. You can tell he has the same. We don't know what actually drove him from childhood or whatever, but we know that he's with Lucilla now and he's with the old Senate. And so they say him the same ideas as Maximus did for pushing it on, where the twins definitely don't.
I wish he was the main character. Than Lucius. I could have cared less about Lucius, to be honest.
And Lucius, his kind of origin is that I'm a vengeful guy that got kicked out of Rome. I'm entitled to royalty. So he has this different arc than Maximus. It would have been cool to see him flesh out of I know I can't speak, but I'm going to be my own unique character. But near the end, they just kind of copy and paste what Maximus was. As a general, everyone listens to him. Well, and it was misleading, too, because the end of Gladiator 1, you get this heartwarming, oh, good. Maximus sacrificed himself so that Rome could thrive. Lucius is 12 years old when he escapes Rome. It's how is he going to be this epic gladiator? Yeah. And he's fostered by that general, or I don't even know, Jugurtha. This is so distracting me because I'm waiting for some Spartan to go, "This is Sparta!" It's the same actor.
Guy.
But I think he's the guy who trains Lucius. Like, how does this guy make Lucius the next Maximus? They need to flesh that out more.
Yeah, no, it didn't make any sense either how he just let the monkeys come out.
But what's dumb is that he has this revenge towards this guy who didn't even kill her.
It's
He just
contrived. I did like how they kind of subtly covered the river Styx with Chorus taking her. It's kind of an homage to the religious views at that time.
That was probably the most real emotional scene in that entire movie for motivations for Lucius. That made the most sense. The rest of the movie, for the quality of what has motivated him throughout the film and how quickly he flopped on some things, I think that was probably like the only part of the movie that actually made sense for what his emotions should have been.
What were your thoughts on the two emperors?
That, honestly, I think the emperors were the best part of the film. That they made the most sense. It was the kind of the more powerful emperor that also played Eddie in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I thought he was fantastic. I thought they seemed so unstable, and like it was really eerie whenever they'd come on scene. I thought they played it perfectly. That was the one part of the film that couldn't have been better.
Just got super chaotic with Maximus killing one of the emperors and then helping the crazier one out with his monkey.
With the monkey.
Yeah.
This freaking monkey.
I didn't like that they put Denzel's character as, oh, I was Marcus Aurelius' slave, so I have revenge towards bringing Rome down.
I didn't like that.
I didn't like that either. I'm like, that's not...
Like, sure, everyone's tainted with some sort of sin or whatever, but it's Marcus Aurelius had thought of bringing everyone power and bringing the power to the people.
How about the end of the movie where the two armies merge by that bridge, and then he's fighting Maximus, and then they go into the river?
That was the lamest fight.
If I was the soldier, I'm like... I'd be like,
what are we doing here?
The guy had no voice, and he didn't even get a chance to build up his reputation to have a voice.
I think for the status of Rome and how it was and how quickly Maximus took over as the new Caesar, I think it would have made more sense for once Lucius killed him that everyone just kind of went in tyranny and started killing. Like it didn't make sense to end it in a piece. It would have made more sense to be kind of an eerie ending and have him get killed by someone else.
When you came out of the first one, you're like, I want to be Maximus. When you came out of this one, you're like, I don't know who I want to be.
That's true.
This movie showed a perfect example between it says the plot, whereas the first one showed the plot.
Exactly.
Where the first one, there's a scene where Proximo and Maximus are discussing their goals, and Proximo wants to go to the Colosseum. You should see the Colosseum. That's where I won my freedom. Maximus is like, I too want to stand in front of the emperor. But he has an agenda behind him that he wants to go and kill the emperor. But he doesn't tell that to Proximo. Whereas in this one, it's, I want to kill the general because he killed my wife.
My wife!
It's just lazy. I think it's lazy.
I want to think. I have a brain. Let me think.
I think we really loved the soundtrack from Gladiator 1. This movie kind of copied the hymns. I don't think they had anything original that was...
The soundtrack was only good because it was mostly the other movie. You see, like, I guess the first, like, John Williams' Star Wars, like when Rogue One came out, you know, he took, like, the Darth Vader theme, big parts of it, but also made it into something new and great, where it was original enough, where it wasn't just a complete copy and paste, you know? Right. But this movie, it was like, it seemed like 95% of the score was the same. Maybe it was a little more, and I just didn't know.
Well, it didn't have Commodus' theme. When he came on, you hear that little hymn. And it felt impactful. And then this movie, it's like eventually you find out Denzel Washington character is the antagonist, but he didn't have a theme that I can remember.
If it was a different ending, the last half hour, I could see myself doing an 8 and 7.
It does not take a lot to impress Peter and his little brain rot mind. Ooh, action. This is fun. I like this.
Up until, what was Pedro Pascal's character's name?
General Cascus.
I really liked his character. The second he died, that's when it all dropped.
I agree. That was the turning point.
I mean, Lucius's motivation was already bad. He immediately flopped on like, oh, never mind. I forgive everyone.
I think what this movie had was how it was so successful. It was because it was so nostalgic to the first one. I think my rating is still pretty much the same. I give it a 6 and a 6. That it is entertaining.
I think even if you're the biggest Gladiator fan, this movie's not satisfying. Like,
yeah,
you could live without seeing this movie. My scores do not change, which was the quality of a 5, entertainment of a 7.
Yep.
Entertainment was 5. I'm dropping it to a 4. I'm doing 4 entertainment, 4 quality.
Yeah, as I said, coming out of the theater, it was an 8 and 6. I think I'm probably down to a 6 and 6 because I think entertainment, there was enough of lack of motivation to draw it down. We just can't ignore that. So
Yeah. So these are the ratings for Gladiator 2.
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 They are the great legal.
They're very hard.
Wow. Let us know in the comments what you think about this movie. Was it as good as the first one? I don't know. Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for the next review,
Hit it.
and we'll see you in the next one.
Hit it.